So, yeah, let's talk about this. Austin Matthews. So, sorry about the delay, but what do you guys feel about the situation with Austin Matthews in the ELC deals?
Um,
It's a pretty big
it's
deal.
if they can't even. So it sounds like to me it's just like the nitty gritty, the bonus stuff that needs to be figured out. So if they can't agree on a deal with someone who's supposed to be the person or the dude, the guy, the man for the Maple Leafs, that's bad. Like really bad in your organization.
And they got a shit ton of, prospects. You have Mitch Marner, you have William Nylander, you have Austin Matthews, and then you have guys like Freddie Anderson in goal, and then you have Morgan Riley. You have all those young studs on your team. And, we mentioned earlier about Jesse Puljujarvi, signing a 3-year deal, ELC deal with the Edmonton Oilers, which is great for the Edmonton Oilers, by the way. But for Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs, I honestly expect a deal to happen. But here's what I think. Austin Matthews, I think, will fall back and decline to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He looks very unhappy with his pictures that, with the media taking all the pictures of him. You could just see it in his eyes that he does not want to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He looks like this. Just looks like that. It's just a sturdy, ugly picture of him, on the wall in the podium in Buffalo a couple weeks back, and we're all sitting here thinking, holy shit, this guy is going to be the franchise player, and the Leafs future is bright and whatever, and everyone's talking about it, and you're comparing it to the Buffalo Sabres rebuild and stuff like that. And then, you realize, do you guys think, honestly, Austin Matthews is going to sign this deal?
It's up to him. But, I mean, it looks like he doesn't want to, so I would go with no.
I would say no as well. I mean, I think it's going to be the Eric Lindros situation all over again, where he refuses to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then he plays for someone else. That's what I think is going to happen.
Where would he go then?
Well, let's think about it. If you look at his background check reveals that he's from Arizona. So, my indication would be the Coyotes. Because they need a franchise player badly, because they're going down a hill soon, and they might be relocating to another city in a couple years. We don't really know. But let's face it, if the Coyotes are this confident in signing him, I know that they a while back threw in either Christian Dvorak, Max Domi, and no, not Max Domi, Max Domi, Christian
But
Dvorak.
didn't they sign Max Domi?
I don't think so. I think he's under contract for another year. I'm not too sure,
I
but
thought I saw something where he was like signed for an extension.
I don't have a clue. But yeah,
I'll look it up.
yeah, you do that. I think he's still under contract till like next season. I'm not entirely sure because he was drafted in 2013 in one of the middle round picks by AZ, and then you have Arizona, if you remember recalling, wanted to trade either Dvorak, Domi, or Strome. One of those and 2 first-round picks, which were going to be their later picks, which they used on Clayton Keller and Jacob Chikrin. And Jacob Chikrin, if you recall, and Stephanie, you were not here for this. I'm going to tell Shannon. If you remember, Shannon, remember when we did the mock draft video about a month ago?
Oh yeah.
And I said Buffalo was going to take Chikrin?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you were all like, yeah, Chikrin for sure. Boy, was I out of the water about that. Going to Arizona late in the middle rounds, and
Yeah. Okay, he becomes an RFA. Max Domi does in 2018-2019.
so who's a UFA and who's an RFA?
For this season,
For the next coming years, like next 2-3 years.
pretty much everyone except Jamie McGinn, Brad Richardson, Dylan Strome, Max Domi, and Laurent Dolphin.
Yeah, is Domi under contract?
He is.
Yes, he is. Okay. I just want to double check. I don't know enough about the Coyotes. So I have to kind of gather the information. I do know they have Jamie McGinn, and unfortunately I'm not happy about that, but whatever. That's his problem. But I feel somehow Austin Matthews is going to ask for way too much in his deal, and he's going to reject an offer from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's going to go to Arizona. It'll be the Eric Lindros situation all over again from 20 years ago, which was around the time I was born. It's almost nearly 25 years ago. And he refused to play for the Nordiques, for those of you who don't know, when he was drafted. And he says, I refuse to wear the sweater. And he didn't sign his contract, and he refused to. And they had no choice but to trade him. And he got traded to the Philadelphia Flyers for pretty much half of the 1996 Colorado Avalanche roster, which got them the Stanley Cup in their first year as an expansion team, which included guys like Peter Forsberg. I mean, that certainly helped them down the line. Sure, I mean, they had Joe Sakic, Patrick Waugh, Peter Forsberg. I believe Adam Foote was on that team. I mean, Yuri Krupp was on that team. But the Flyers got a decent return for him, I think. But the Flyers, I mean, Eric Lindros was the driving force of the Legion of Doom. Let's face it. So, that's that. What do you think, Steph?
Legion of Doom.
Wait, what did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Sorry. I got this.
No, you were saying something. I apologize. I cut you off by accident.
Oh no, I was looking at my site and I just learned something new. But never mind.
Well, that works for me. But like, I feel if Matthews goes to like Arizona, he'll play on a line with Domi, Strome. No, he'll play with Duclair and Domi out of the blue if he goes to Arizona. If he decides to reject an offer from the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, let's be honest. Would any of you really want to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Nope.
No?
Depends on what they've got.
I mean, because, you know what's funny? If you could recall, for the past couple months, the Toronto Maple Leafs were all in on Steven Stamkos. And they were so convinced that they were going to get him and then have him play with Austin Matthews. It was like, it's not happening. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, Stamkos is a monster, but he wouldn't be going to Toronto. He wouldn't be. But Buffalo probably had the best odds for him at the time. But Austin Matthews should be decent enough to contribute one line, which is Matthews, Nylander, and Marner. That's pretty much it. And Marner is expected to come up next year from the Junior Hockey League, from the Ontario Hockey League, from the London Knights. And he should be a contributive line mate for Austin Matthews in the Toronto Maple Leafs. But we don't really know exactly yet what's going to happen. I mean, he might get sent down to the AHL, which is probably the best odds. But then again, if Matthews comes to Toronto and he's not happy, then you just wasted 3 years of your career. I feel like, as good as he is, I don't think it's going to last. I don't think this honeymoon with Toronto is going to last very long. He just doesn't want to be there, and I know for a fact that he would. I think the Leafs should have took Patrick Laine over Austin Matthews, but there was no way Laine was going to get passed up at number 2. Just wasn't going to be the case. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It'd be just like, I don't know. There's so many situations I can go into. Like, the most famous example, like I said earlier, was Eric Lindros, but that's a little bit different. But Puljujarvi signed with no question. That was a no-brainer to have Puljujarvi signed. So, that's that. Did anybody have any last-minute comments?
No, I mean, I don't. It'll be interesting to see what he does with the Maple Leafs. And that, I mean, right now it could just be something very simple, or it could be, as it sounds, complex. Just wait and see, I guess.
Fair enough. And before I move on, we did have a delay before, and it was not recording, so I apologize to the audience. This is a second take, so I'm just going to review real quick what really happened and kind of give our quick thoughts real quick. We were talking about an analytics specialist named Matt Pfeiffer, who was fired by the Canadiens for pretty much showing an impassioned and elaborate presentation for the team of why they should have never traded PK Subban. Then we were talking about Las Vegas and what their name is going to be and think of other ideas because of the trademark issue. And just recently we were talking about Jesse Puljujarvi signing with the Edmonton Oilers for 3 years worth about $950K. So, and then of course we're talking about Austin Matthews going from the Toronto Maple Leafs potentially off the team because of bonuses on his contract. And to continue from the Toronto Maple Leafs, because there's a lot of talk about them lately, and there's this really strange rumor going around saying that Morgan Riley is triggered to be in trade rumors with Boston regarding Patrice Bergeron. I don't know if anything about this is going to be true or not. Would you guys like to explain why?
Crappy trade.
Why?
Well, there's no real proof. I don't see why the Bruins would want to trade Bergeron when he's basically like been there, and I think he's still under contract, so they'd have to probably like buy him out or something, and I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I doubt the Bruins will trade Bergeron, but
Bergeron's a Bruin, and I can't see him. I don't see it happening.
I don't see that happening. And I think, let's face it, at this point, he's going to likely be named captain after Zdeno Chara.
I don't see why the Bruins would trade a franchise player like that. I just think it's a stupid trade, you know?
I think this would be a giant step backwards for the Boston Bruins because they've already took giant step backwards already. They already traded Hamilton. They already traded Seguin. They already traded Lucic. Got nothing out of any of them. And then,
they got Ronaldo, which was a bad idea.
Oh, yeah, and let's not forget, they traded Phil Kessel for 2 first-round picks, and those 2 firsts ended up being Tyler Seguin and Dougie Hamilton. Yes, the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. I get it. They won the Cup in 2011 with Tyler Seguin as a rookie, but Dougie Hamilton wasn't even fucking mentioned yet! Just makes me think, are the Bruins really going down the decline?
Probably following the steps of the Canadians.
I don't know about the Canadians. I don't know about the Canadians, though. I mean, it could be a big step back, upwards for the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, if you have Shea Weber, hey, you never know. You have a healthy Shea Weber, and you have a healthy Carey Price.
Weber's getting older, though.
And Price got lit up for 7 goals.
Yeah, and the Tampa Bay Lightning were just despaired from that point forward. So, that's that. I mean, I cannot see the Bruins trading Patrice Bergeron. But basically, for a guy that just re-signed from Morgan Riley, I don't see it happening at all. So, I think wherever that came from, and we're just telling you from what happened, is basically speculation about Bergeron going to Toronto, which is probably not going to happen. And I think Patrice Bergeron would probably be tearing right now if he found out he were to be traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Goes from a team he grew up playing for, and it's a smack in the face to go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's kind of like the PK Subban trade all over again, but it's not as big as the Subban Weber trade.
It's like Taylor Hall for Adam Larson.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Oh, God. And speaking of Taylor Hall, it was just revealed that he's going to be wearing the number 9 for the New Jersey Devils next season. And he explained that the number 9 was his favorite number growing up as a kid, and he always liked it. It made him much of a bigger superstar than he was in when he was playing junior hockey and all that stuff. So I think that's good for material from what it was. So that's that. So I'm happy about Taylor Hall, though. Woo! Sorry. Does anybody have any comments about Taylor Hall's new jersey number?
Story behind it's cool. That's pretty awesome, actually.
Do you have any more inside details about that?
I just think it's a cool story. That's it. That's the first time I've heard it, so.
That's true. And then, I guess, we'll move on to the next topic. And this is one I promised by popular demand to Stephanie. We're going to talk about Corey Conacher, and apparently he resigned. Actually, no, fuck it. I'm going to let her say it, since she's the Tampa Bay Lightning
Go for it.
Corey Conacher re-signed for a 1-year or 2-way deal with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
How much is he making?
I forgot.
Well, I got it right here. It says he's making a 1-year, 2-way contract for $575,000. Wow, tired. With the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm sorry. Excuse me on that. 1-year, 2-way contract for $575,000 with the Tampa Bay Lightning. How do you feel?
Okay, so honestly, I think it's a great signing. or it has the potential to be a great signing. It all depends on what Corey does and if he's going to dip into the past and relive how he played before with the Lightning. Otherwise, it could be bad.
Now, looking back at Conacher's career, how do you feel about the trade?
Basically, it could be either good or bad.
Well, looking back at it from 3 years ago.
So, like, him being traded out of?
From the Ottawa Senators to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, okay.
And Shannon would be very shocked at who the return was.
What?
About Conacher. Conacher was traded from Tampa Bay to Ottawa.
Or Ben Bishop.
What?
Yes.
Wait, I didn't know he was traded. I always thought he was a Lightning player, but then again, kind of new to the whole hockey thing.
Yeah, he was traded for Bishop.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize Bishop used to play for Ottawa. That's interesting.
And he played for St. Louis.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why can't people tell me these things instead of leaving me in the dark, making me think, oh, look, he's always played for Tampa?
But yeah, so overall, I think the Ottawa Senators instantaneously lost this trade because they gave up Bishop for nothing, and then you get Conacher back. Jesus fuck. Typical Ottawa Senators. I hate them, but that's the truth. It's almost like the Lightning and the Sens just fuck themselves over, but they just don't realize it. It's just as bad as that one time they traded Andre Mazzaros to the Lightning. Oh, yeah. How do you feel about that one, Steph?
Mazzaros?
Yes.
I didn't know he was a Lightning.
You didn't know this?
That was the one I don't know.
Ah, fuck.
When was he a Lightning?
It was like 2008.
Really? Like, I know he was with Philly and then he was with Boston. I didn't know he was the Lightning.
Yeah, Andre Mazzaros had a pretty decent time in Tampa. And he didn't do too well either after Ottawa. He was just doing his own thing, but whatever. Let me see if I actually have a picture of him.
Oh, no, I never liked Mazzaros. Mazzaros is just kind of okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all you can really say?
Yeah, basically okay.
Here you go. I don't know if you can see that, but...
Dang.
Yeah. Let's see what his trade return was. Just so I can remember this.
That's Kachuk's number.
Patrick who?
Kachuk. This guy we took in the draft. Boris Kachuk.
I'm trying to remember why. Oh my god! I found the return for the time he was traded. Here we go. This was from August 28th. Damn it! August 29th, 2008. That's the date of the trade. That was made 8 years ago. And this was the return. The Tampa Bay Lightning received Andre Mazzaros from the Ottawa Senators in exchange for defenseman Philip Kuba and Alexander Picard, along with a 2009 first-round pick in which the Bolts acquired from the San Jose Sharks from Dan Boyle.
I surrender.
Don't we all feel stupid, don't we?
I honestly, my knowledge goes only to a certain point. Then after that, I'm like, sure, okay, I'll nod my head in agreement. Sure, you're right. Sure.
Oh, and on top of that, that first round pick that San Jose had from that trade was given to Buffalo for Tyler Ennis. Yeah. Wow.
What the hell?
You know, I just feel dumb from reading that. I'm sorry. I feel really dumb. So this just comes to show how shitty the Ottawa Senators are with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Because they're like really good trade partners. They just love making trades with one another. I don't get it. It is so lopsided. And now,
should have traded Matt Carl to them. They would have taken him.
oh yeah, well, what? So what are you complaining about? He's not even on the team anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
We can give him Filppula then. We can give him Filppula and Condra.
Oh please, yeah, like that's ever gonna fucking happen.
Come on.
I mean, come on, it's not that terrible. Anyway, so moving on, the New York Rangers re-signed JT Miller for 2 years, worth about $5.25 million, and annual average value is at $2.625 million. So estimatedly, it's $6.62 million at annual average value for JT Miller for the New York Rangers.
Interesting sign by them.
Very much. I think this is a great time by the Rangers. And I know Ranger fans were like, please get him signed. We need him bad. It's just like, it's almost like they treated him like he was going to be like, I don't know, another Shea Weber or another Ryan Johansson or something like that.
Nikita Kucherov?
Maybe another Kucherov, but the Rangers are going down a huge decline. But JT Miller would be a perfect player to have on their thing. It wouldn't be such a bad thing to do, but whatever. So that's JT Miller to the New York Rangers for that price at nearly $5.25 million for the next 2 seasons. Next topic is the Winnipeg Jets superfan veteran Len Kroppy-Korpowski was been named one of Maclean's magazine's great Canadians. And this guy's like 92 years old, and he is a World War II veteran, and he served his country for a while, and he was considered the biggest fan for the Winnipeg Jets. So good for him on that one.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty good, man. That's amazing.
For him, I'm sure. And this one made me happy. Was the Buffalo Sabres re-signed Marcus Foligno for 1 year, worth about $2.25 million. So that creates extra size and grit for the Sabres next season. So Buffalo got handsome for one more season until the trade deadline. So that's that. And I'm sure the Predators will kick their tires for him next season.
What? Predators?
Yeah, for Marcus Foligno, I'm sure, because they do need size and they do need grit. Since the next guy wasn't going to come back, which we're going to talk about again later, so we'll talk about
I know what we're talking about now.
We'll talk about him again later, because there's a lot to say about this one. And
What's
this
that?
one I also have to talk about is, I think it's pretty important we talk about this, is Michael Campoli is a freshman for Boston College next season, and he's a prospect for the Buffalo Sabres. And he was in stable condition after taking a hit to the boards on development camp on Tuesday from the Buffalo Sabres. And he was on stretcher, and he was stabilized on his neck, and he was talking and interacting and all that stuff with the rest of the media. So I have to ask, what is your opinion about that?
It's scary to see injuries like that happen. I think, it's scary, to hear that happen, but glad that he's okay.
Yeah, so...
Never liked the stretcher, but yeah, glad he's okay.
Yeah, so here's the full story. So, because I kind of got everything botched up a bit, so here we go. It says that Boston College freshman defenseman Michael Campoli was invited to development camp by the Buffalo Sabres on Tuesday. That got struck into the boards by one of the prospects after taking a vicious hit and was stretchered off the ice this morning during a 3-on-3 tournament. And then the Sabres wished to Campoli via Twitter well through that point of time, and it turned out to be okay just by smiling and talking, which is a good sign, of course. Reports came out from the Buffalo News indicating that Campoli went onto the ice, tried to get up by himself, immediately went right back down, and he was motionless on the ice for nearly about 20 minutes, close to a half an hour, while the medical staff came out to his service. And the Buffalo Fire Department worked sturdily and to stabilize his neck to make sure it was not broken. And he was taken to the hospital in an ambulance, and it came about okay. And sure, for Campoli, an undrafted 18-year-old kid that was invited to camp reportedly went to the ice and tried to get up. And, of course, I already say that, but he was hit by William Carrier, who was part of the Ryan Miller trade from the St. Louis Blues to the Buffalo Sabres a couple years ago. And he said, I didn't feel it was a dirty hit. And this was according to Rochester Americans head coach Dan Lambert. And he told that to the Buffalo News, and he just said, I just thought Will Carrier is a big, heavy guy, and he put his body into it, and it was unfortunate. So, now that I digested all that down, what are your thoughts?
So, like Boyle hitting Hickey?
What?
Like if, like from the playoffs, Brian Boyle hit Thomas Hickey, and like, I mean, Boyle's like a bigger guy than Hickey is, but
Well,
it was still a clean hit.
Was Hickey on a stretcher at the time?
No,
So that's no different. I can.
I'm talking about like the hit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a vicious hit. I mean, since these collisional hits have been going on lately, they're trying to prevent concussions, and they've been saying, you know, do shoulder to shoulder contact or anywhere but the head, because that's obviously leading to concussions. So the NHL is trying to do their best to make sure the game is safe.
I mean, all the safety rules they have, you know, it sounded like what happened a few days ago was just a freak accident. They can't prevent, you know, accidents from happening. It's going to happen, you know, so it'll be interesting to see what the NHL does now in response to that.
I think so, but I don't think the NHL is going to take any action to it, because the Sabres already, because, you know, Carrier pretty much said, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit him, you know, because they were in development camp, and I think development camp is a little bit different as to, you know, an NHL game, because there has been accidents in this league before, and I hope, and you know what, now that we're on the internet, or at least one of you could see it, there's 2 videos of this. There's been freak accidents in the NHL before. You have Clint Malarchuk, probably by far the most famous example, with the ice skate cut into his throat, and then and the majority of his blood was splattered out all over to the ice, and it created massive chaos. And then the same thing happened to Richard Zetnik in 2008, and during a game between the Panthers and the Sabres, and he had his throat cut wide open right here, and there was major blood vessels here, and the majority of the blood got spilled out, and he was taken to the hospital, and Richard Zetnik has not, ever since then, has been playing over in Europe. Have any of you seen those videos?
I think I did.
Which one?
It sounds very familiar. The first one.
Clint Malarchuk?
Yeah.
I would just bring it up again, so see if you can. Actually, let me see if I can get that on my phone. I know for a fact that this is the most famous injury among all hockey, but I'm going to bring it up again because I feel it's important we talk about it, because we are talking about, you know, injuries and stuff. I mean, William Carrier could have broke Campoli's neck, and that would have paralyzed him, and that would have been the end of his career in only a matter of time. So that's that. Let's see. Here we go.
But he said it wasn't a dirty hit.
That's true. Yeah, and I got this stupid Red Lobster app going on. Let's see if I can turn it up. Here we go. This is the accident time, in case you never saw this. Is it going on?
Kept in by Bodger. There's a long shot. Reno makes the save. A loose puck in front.
Not this one. It's going to come up down the slot.
The rebound, but it's stopped by the left pad. Here's Bodger sending it back in front now. Comes back to the line. Kept in by Krug. Now recovered by Lowder. Gets it back over the line. Here's the pass.
Right here.
On into the Buffalo zone. Mahar goes to the corner of the pass. And oh, wow.
Watch Malarchuk.
What?
That's the story right now with the red. Oh, look at that is the. Oh,
God.
Oh, please take the camera off and don't even bring it over there, please.
Oh, my God.
Just keep it away.
Oh, terrible.
Oh my God, what happened?
You're watching Sabres hockey in the Niagara Frontier Sports Network.
Oh.
The new Buick Riviera.
And then it went into commercial at that time.
All over again.
The road has been waiting, you're anticipating the spirit you felt way back.
What?
Shit like this doesn't just come out of nowhere. And that's why you want to keep players safe. Whether it's a concussion, or whether it's skates to the neck, whether if you crack someone's face open, I don't care. Keep the players safe. And of course, there's always going to be...
Johnson getting
What?
the puck to the face during the warm-ups.
Taylor Hall, just not too long ago, actually, I think it was a year ago, he got stitches to his head and wasn't wearing a helmet. He got struck in the head by a puck and had to get stitches, I think it was. It was a home game for the Oilers.
Sagan hit Ryan Getzlaw. He had to get stitches.
Well, that's unfortunate. You know, those kind of things, you know, are, you know, it's not fun, but it happens. You know, I'm a hockey player myself, and I lost all my front teeth all around here because I took a slap shot to the face without wearing a mouthpiece 5 years ago, and I had to go to the hospital because all my teeth in my mouth fell off, and I was bleeding from the gums, and so I had to get into the surgical office and get my teeth repaired. So I've had about probably 62 stitches in my jaw since the accident. So I had to get my teeth repaired, and one of the cells were dying, so I had to get that done a couple years ago. So that's all speculation at the time. But
I know from personal experience, I get, you know, some of the safety parts of concussions that I've had 2 of them somehow. Both from similar incidents in different years of high school and that, but, you know, they're not fun. And I get that safety point, but at the same time, you know, after a while, you still don't want to be coddling the players, but at the same time, you want to keep them safe as much as possible. But I don't know if there's a healthy balance between that.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think it's important to keep the players safe because if you notice some of the changes they've made in the NHL through that time period, you know, the no touching ice, you know, no touching the puck of the ice, you know, to prevent concussions, you know, shoulder contact to prevent hits to the head with concussions and stuff like that. So overall, I think it's pretty important to keep an eye on the players, whether it's development camp or an NHL game. You know, it's very important to the players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's for sure. And of course, we're going to talk about Stacy's favorite player. I mean, Shannon. Why did I say Stacy?
That's a new one for me, okay? Well, you did give me a character name, so thank you very much.
Wait, character name? What?
A new story idea because of the movie I'm watching for the second time today. I got this brilliant idea in my mind, and so I've been playing situations over my mind, and one of the things I struggle with is naming characters. And there you go, there's the name for one of the characters.
For what, your story, I guess?
Yes, I write stories. I've written over 500 pages in the past 2 years, thank you very much.
Oh joy, I wonder what that's going to lead to.
A lot of fame on Wattpad, that's it.
You might as well just write a whole story about Pokemon.
I don't understand enough, unfortunately, to do that.
Well, that's okay, because you can...
But I can write how Team Mystic will take down Team Valor, is it? I believe?
Yeah, I'm on Team Valor, thank you very much. So
yeah, I might write a story about Team Mystic taking down Team Valor or War or something like that, like what's going on right now in the movie I'm watching.
Now, fuck you, okay? Anyway, just to piss you off, we're going to talk about Jimmy Vesey. There is an update about him, though, and there's a lot to say on this, so be prepared. Get your coffee, get your popcorn ready. Steady for you, Steph. Get your popcorn ready. Get your Tampa Bay Lightning Flags ready. Get everything
the
ready.
interesting part in the movie.
Yeah, the most interesting part of the movie is also going to lead to the most interesting part of this blog, or podcast, whatever you want to call it. Mostly podcast, but anyway, so let's talk about Jimmy Vesey. And apparently there's been some speculation between him and the Buffalo Sabres, and he still plans to go to free agency on August 15th because that is apparently his due date to be an unrestricted free agent. And I know Shannon is happy about him leaving Buffalo potentially to go elsewhere, but I think at the end of the day he will sign with the Sabres, but not till like the very last day. That's what I think is going to happen. But anyway, so I'm going to tell you what exactly has been going on, and I'm going to give you the quotes from both general manager Tim Murray and head coach Dan Bosma. Then I'm going to tell you who he has on his short team list of teams he may potentially sign with. And Shannon is going to love this. Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah, let me just do my tractor beam on this one.
Fire away.
Yep,
Laser.
tractor beam. And so, with that being said, let's get the show on the road. So, apparently, Tim Murray spoke to WGR 550 in Buffalo. I don't live in that area, because that's where I get most of my information is on the website or whatever. And apparently, he told the media he pretty much lented, or yeah, did I say that right? Yeah, he vented the situation, and Murray said to he said this in development camp too. He said, I talked about this literally less than anybody else in Buffalo. I hear the guys on the radio, and people are mad at, and this is like top end news. And I'm like, it is what it is. We traded one of our 4 third-round picks to be able to talk to him. We went down there, and we spoke to him, and I told him he doesn't owe anybody anything. He went to school for 4 years, and he became an unrestricted free agent, so now he's got to make the right decision for him. And Vesey can't wait Vesey can't wait as long as he would like to make a decision, and Murray feels there's no timetable. I felt really good about the meeting. We got great feedback about the meeting, but this is his show right now, and if he wants to reach out to us and have another meeting, then we're there. But for this, it is in his court, and I don't sit at home and speculate about this. It's either going to sign here or he's not. If Vesey signs with another team, then Murray will move on like it was nothing, but he knows for sure that he won't be getting the same reaction from everyone else in Western New York. If he doesn't, then it's obvious not the decision that we want, and then you guys will call me a dummy for trading away your 3rd-round draft pick. And I've got the scenarios, and I'm ready for them all, but it's up to him. It's his time. And as for Biles Mob, his comments were very different. And he said, first and foremost, he's got the opportunity to play a top 6 role with our team. He's got the opportunity to play with guys like Ryan O'Reilly and Jack Eichel, depending on how they would play out. We believe that we're going to be a very good team and that will continue to get better, and a team that competes for the Stanley Cup as we go forward from here. We'll be better the next season, we'll be better after that, and he's got a chance to grow with our young group of players. We could surround him with Jack and Sam Reinhart and Jack Eichel, but even after veteran players like O'Reilly, Vander Kane, and Kyle Lapozo, he's got a chance to grow with those group of guys with a great team, and I think that's the best opportunity for him in this entire league out of the 29 teams. And he said, we liked the meeting we had with him, and we explained all that to him, and he still has every right to choose what he wants, but we felt good about having the opportunity to explain it to him and talk to him about the opportunity.
No, it's not. I don't think he will sign with the Sabres because I know this is old news and you've yelled at me multiple times for this, but I've heard Boston, I've heard a couple of teams like that in the mix because I forget, but he might be from around Boston or something like that. I don't know. I don't keep track of where he's from and that, but I don't think he'll sign with the Sabres, you know. It's just very odd, I guess. I don't... No, okay, granted, I know he's friends with someone on the team, but that doesn't mean anything, you know. At the end of the day, it comes down, you know, what's best for the Sabres? Maybe that's him. I don't know. I mean, I can't say anything. Now I'm getting distracted by the movie. But no, it doesn't, you know, they've already have this much potential. The Sabres have a lot of potential with the offense and that. And it just doesn't fit. No, it doesn't make sense, really.
Yeah, and then later, he brings this up, and this was mentioned by Joe Harity of CSNNewEngland.com. And he asked Vesey about his plans for free agency, and he said this. He said, Boston is definitely on my list of teams that I would like to talk to.
Therefore he's not going to sign with the Sabres.
Hang on, I'm not finished. It's a team that I've rooted for my whole life and watched them win the Cup in 2011. I was a huge Joe Thornton fan growing up, and I've got to know Torrey Krug a little bit from playing with him. It'd be fun to play with him and put on a Bruins jersey because I've been watching them my whole life. But here's where things get more interesting. So Boston Buffalo, Chicago, New Jersey, and Pittsburgh are all on his list of teams, and you could also add the New York Rangers on that list. So
That's some of those teams. It makes sense. Others, it's just pointless. I don't see the point behind it. So, and no, I don't think he'll sign with the Sabres, especially if there are teams out there that could be better for him. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
for sure, and keep in mind, those 6 teams I just mentioned, there's a bit of a background check. Here's this where interesting, and you're saying he might go to Boston, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, here's something else for you to bicker about, and this is where things get very illogical, and just hear me out on this.
Oh,
There's a report, and there's even reports out there saying that Vesey may not end up in Boston because of the pressure playing at home.
What?
Yeah, apparently he may not sign with the Bruins because of the pressure playing on home ice, because he's from Medford, which is probably an hour from Boston.
Yeah.
And he gets to play with Patrice Bergeron, he gets to play with David Krejci, he gets to play with Brad Marchand, he gets to play behind Claude Julien, he gets to play behind those guys. But here's the thing. If he goes to another team, and I'm just throwing this out here, just from breaking this down, if he goes to a team, let's say, for example, Boston, he is good at most as a third-line winger. At most, if not even fourth. That's my best bet. And if he's really...
Necessarily.
Kind of ish, but he's not going to get paid like he's expected to be. But if you add up teams like Toronto, for example, his brother, I believe his brother's name is Nolan Vesey, I believe. His brother is a prospect for the Toronto Maple Leafs. His father is an amateur scout for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
So maybe he'll end up with the Leafs then, just because of the family thing, the family aspect of it. So I still don't think he'll sign with the Sabres.
Wait, what'd you say, Steph?
That's what they said with Stammer for the family thing with Toronto.
True.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know if this is a smokescreen saying, I'm definitely going to talk to Boston, because there's been also rumors that I believe I brought this up a couple weeks ago. Shannon. I think I brought this up a couple weeks ago, and I mentioned about Don Sweeney looking around Boston when the Sabres met up with him last week, and they were saying that Don Sweeney was kind of looking around at the meeting, looking at the Sabres like, what are they doing? And then that would be considered tampering, because you got to keep in mind, his contract expires on August 15th, and that's the day where Jimmy Vesey could leave his contract with Buffalo, and he could talk to Boston, and he could talk to whoever else he wants. And there was yesterday a report saying that there was a second private jet going back to Boston, and apparently this has nothing to do with Jimmy Vesey, and they were speculating...
Sure it doesn't.
What's up?
Sure it doesn't have anything to do with him.
Well, apparently they're saying that Jack Eichel and Sam Reinhart were apparently coming home from a Justin Bieber concert.
Who isn't a Justin Bieber fan in the NHL?
Oh, wait, crap. I'm not an NHL player. I thought a Justin Bieber fan overall.
Yeah, but here's where things get interesting, and I don't know if this is a smokescreen or speculation, and I did not make this up. Jack Eichel, at 7:50 p.m. that night, which was yesterday, was supposed to play at a ice hockey tournament with Jimmy Vesey, and apparently never showed up.
Drama.
That could lead to more issues.
I don't know about issues, but the Sabres pretty much said, we're not going to talk to Jimmy going forward. We're going to leave him alone. We're going to let him decide what he wants. We're not going to ask him to owe anything and whatever. This is his decision ultimately. But I think, though, in the end of the day, even if it's Toronto, even if it's Boston, I respect Jimmy Vesey's opinion. And it's not the end of the world if Jimmy Vesey signs elsewhere. But if he does go play for the Sabres, he's guaranteed to be a top 6 forward. And there's no reason why the Sabres traded for his rights. There is a reason behind it, because they want him to play with Jack Eichel. And he said from time to time that he wants to play with Jack Eichel. And apparently that's I feel this whole Vesey saga is becoming sort of a sickening story, and I know it's kind of sickening, but you know what? I can't help it because he's part of the Sabres organization, and at least for now.
Unofficially a part of the Sabres organization because, as far as I know, Sabres haven't signed him yet. They've just have his rights to negotiate with him. Therefore, he's like an unofficial member of the Sabres organization.
And here's something else I found out. I also found out that he's on their chart for in the system charts, basically. So he's basically on the depth chart for Rochester.
Okay.
Yeah, that's intriguing something. I'm hearing 3-4 different stories about the Vesey situation, and I honestly don't know what to believe. First, I hear him say that he's going to talk to Boston. Then they're saying, oh, I don't want to play for Boston because of the pressure of playing at home. Then they're saying, oh, I may sign with Buffalo because I was very happy with the situation that they put me in. And then, of course, you have the Toronto Maple Leafs with the family tree with his brother and his dad, with the Toronto Maple Leafs connection. And then you bring up teams like Chicago. And the Chicago Blackhawks situation is a little different because the Chicago Blackhawks,
That's logical. Don't get it.
Why is that logical, do you think?
Because I feel like Chicago, they already kind of have like an established team in that. Not necessarily, okay, everything's set in stone. Obviously, they've traded a few players away in the past couple of years or so, ever since I started watching hockey. But they've already kind of like established themselves in that. I don't understand that one, unfortunately.
Well, that's the salary cap, and that's what happens when you pay guys like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves nearly $10 million per season combined.
Have they signed Panarin yet?
Panarin has not been signed yet.
He hasn't?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, Vesey obviously has not been signed yet, but I've heard speculation that he might sign with the Sabres right closer to the 15th. Like, what I think is going to happen here is this. Because the Sabres have $11 million to play with, I feel that they're going to sign Ristolainen first, then they're going to sign Gergensen, then they're going to look at Vesey, then they're going to trade somebody. I don't know who, but I heard that they may wait till that moment to sign him.
So a lot of steps to get one player.
And keep in mind, he's the best NCAA player for the summer. They were supposed to get Drake Cagula, but that was a while back. And he went to the Edmonton Oilers, but not that it matters, because he's Edmonton's problem, not Buffalo's. But Buffalo is a little bit of a different story for Vesey, because obviously we sound like a broken record for this, but the Sabres own his rights, and they're the only team that can talk to him right now. And the Sabres have no plans to talk to him in the future, unless he says, I want to assemble a meeting with the Sabres again. That's pretty much the only way we're going to get him. So that's what I think.
I've heard of another rumor, too, that there's a contract, it's something with a contract with Vesey, and it's going to satisfy you, Bobby, I know. But they're going to announce it, like, closer to August 15th, so that's the magical date that everyone in Buffalo is probably waiting for, is August 15th. What'll happen before then, or on that date?
Well, that's a little bit of an interesting concept, and you're going to be very dumbfounded of what I'm about to say next. I've actually heard Sabres fans saying, you know what, fuck this guy, he can go to Boston or elsewhere, he can go to Toronto, blah, blah, blah. Like, just a bunch of ignorant people. See, that's the problem with Buffalo fans. They get so pessimistic so quickly, and they jump to conclusions. Like, it's like knowing, like, you think that something's going to happen when it doesn't. Like, some people were like, oh, the Sabres are not going to get Vesey because he's holding us off, he's going to be using us, and whatever. Same with Mike Babcock. Babcock, he kind of toyed with the Sabres and went to the Maple Leafs. Like, that's what I think is happening with Jimmy Vesey. But Jimmy Vesey's situation is a little different because this is his choice, and he can sign with whoever he wants, and I would respect that, but not the way Mike Babcock handled it. Mike Babcock's situation is very different from Jimmy Vesey's contract. I think the last time something like this happened was with Kevin Hayes when he went from the Chicago Blackhawks, although he wanted to sign with them, but the Blackhawks want nothing to do with him, and he went to the New York Rangers.
I don't like Vesey because of what happened with the Predators, basically. That's why I don't like him, but Sabres fans, there's still hope yet. It's not August 14th or whatever yet. There's still time, just because, there's 3, 4 different rumors going around, who knows what really happened. So there's still hope for the Sabres. I mean, personally, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. The future is going to be interesting. If, whenever he decides, oh, this is where I'm going to go.
That's true, but you know what? Like I said earlier, Buffalo is the only team that can talk to Vesey right now. That's it. They're the only ones that can talk to him. But until Vesey says, I want to assemble another meeting, let's go. That's the only way we're going to sign him. But if he decides, because he's been saying this like a broken record, he says, I'm waiting till August 15th. I'm waiting till August 15th. That's pretty much because he wants to explore his options. And he's coming from a top-notch school, probably the best school in the entire country, and that's Harvard. And for a guy who graduated from Harvard and to explore his options, I think that's pretty smart. Because what if, the other teams say something different, and the Sabres are like, we're the only ones giving you a top 6 spots. It happened to LeBron James in the NBA. I don't watch basketball, but if you remember 5 years ago, the Miami Heat kind of did a similar thing with LeBron. They gave him an offer, and they said, look, LeBron, you can play. I know you're going to be a UFA. You're the big fish in the market of 2010. You can sign with whoever you want, and until then, you can pick whoever you want. He wasn't going back to Cleveland at the time, so he wanted to win a championship, and he went to the Miami Heat, and look what happened. He went to the finals 4 years in a row and won 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like Jimmy Vesey is going to broadcast the situation, because he's done nothing in the NHL yet. I mean, if this was Crosby, this is a little bit of a different story, but, I mean, he would be a great player to have on the Sabres lineup, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I really don't know. I mean, it could happen, it may not happen, but
it's possible. I mean, but personally, no matter where he ends up, I just hope when he gets to Nashville, I have a feeling the crowd may give him a negative reaction in Nashville. So
well, obviously,
that's what I'm hoping for personally. Isn't that kind of mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, just
booing?
Yeah, plenty of booing in Nashville for Jimmy Vesey.
No, I moved for schooling actually, so no, I did not.
Yeah. Any thoughts about the whole situation, Steph?
No, I'm just letting you guys go.
Okay.
You're just letting us duke it out?
Yeah, I don't care. I just care about Kucherov, Nemesnikov, and Killorn.
Any update?
Is also from Harvard.
Wait, what?
Killorn's also from Harvard.
Ah, smart guy. If he's actually intelligent, he would be signing with Tampa Bay right now.
Eiserman knows what he's doing.
Has there been any update about those guys?
No, because Eiserman's quiet.
Yeah. How would you feel if Jimmy Vesey ends up with the Bolts? Which is very unlikely. But let's say he does scenarially.
Don't need him.
Don't need him. Well, why would you say that?
Because I'd rather keep Kucherov, Killorn, and Vladdy over him.
Maybe. I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, I'm just waiting on the whole Vesey situation to break down. I mean, like I said, I'm just waiting for it to break down so this way we can finally know what the truth is behind all this. Because there's been speculation about a private jet. There's been speculation about meeting with the Bruins. There's been speculation about everything here. So, overall, I don't know who to believe at this point. I mean, it's all going to come down to the wire. And one last topic I wanted to talk about, and you know what? We're almost out of time, but you know what? I might as well just talk about it, and I feel it's important we talk about it anyway, is the bombing lately, or not bombing, but the late incident of what took place in Nice, France tonight. So,
Yeah.
who wants to tell the full story?
I guess I will. Alrighty, so I'm just scrolling through social media here. Hang on, let me pull up the right chat group because there's like multiple people I'm chatting. Alrighty, so far, latest stats are 80 people dead in France. What happened is that today was kind of like Bastille Day, which is their equivalent to Independence Day, in a town that's spelt like nice, but it's not pronounced like that. Again, butchering and pronouncing Nice or something like that. I don't know.
I think
Someone
it's
told
Nice, because it's supposed to sound French.
Nice. I don't speak French, so speak German instead. But anyhow, a truck came barreling through a crowd. It was filled with explosives and firearms and grenades. According to some reports, a truck had driven over about a mile into the crowd. Many people injured. One positive thing to come out of this is that the truck did not hit a building. It did not go off, but just they don't know the cause yet. The person who did drive the truck is dead. So, yeah, I mean, it's wow. I mean, this is the fifth, sixth, I don't know how many times in the past month. That's wow.
It said that the death count's up to 80 now.
I've heard
Yeah.
something different. I heard that there was a police officer that apparently was killing people. The driver that drove the truck was running people over on purpose to get whatever, and the cop pretty much took out a pistol and shot him right in the head, and the bullet went into the back of the gas area near the tank in the back of the truck and exploded. Pretty much what I heard. I don't know if that's any relation to that at all or not. I don't have a clue or any speculation. Of course, I've heard the story about France, having to go through another tragedy for the first time in 5 months?
I mean, let's see. I'm trying to remember when all of this started taking March. Since March. I mean, there's been multiple things like this happening, not just around the world or in America, but around the world. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I can't, earlier I got asked by someone, why does this keep happening? And I said, I don't know. I don't know, and it's just, wow, I don't know. It's, I'm still trying to take it all in and that. It's really weird.
For sure. And you know what? I want to send out my condolences to everybody that was part of that tragedy. And I know Stephanie was freaking out, in tears, about JT Brown, because apparently he's in France right now, actually, on
He's
his...
in Paris, though, and he's okay.
Yeah,
Tell-
Confirmation.
Well, would you like to make that confirmation about us with JT Brown?
Just that he posted a picture to his Instagram and said that he's in Paris, checked into Paris, and just was him and his wife were expressing condolences for,
hang on, I'll look it up.
Nice or Nice.
Wow.
Brown.
So, I'm hearing that 73 people were killed and 100 of them were injured. According to multiple reports from
Alrighty, here's the post that was found on Instagram. I'll read it. That's the fireworks. And it says, Bastille Day in Paris. Just heard about the attack in Nice? Nice?
Nice, yeah.
Nice? I don't know. I can't speak French. Hashtag pray for Nice. So,
Nice is the city in France.
yeah, I heard a different pronunciation from a person who knows, everything about World War II, so they were involved in that, but it's still it's shocking, wow. I mean,
That's for sure. I mean, Steph, do you have anything different about the story, or are you hearing the same story?
Yeah, that's basically what I heard. But I mean, I saw it was up to 80. That's the last I saw.
I heard it was 73, but I don't know what the steer.
It was 73, and then I just checked in the group chat actually, and they said 80.
that's where I looked up my facts.
Yeah, it says 80.
Wow. But who knows? But does anybody have any last minute comments before we wrap up tonight's show?
Hunty said it. Hunty said the death count is up to 80 in France.
Hopefully nothing else happens, but hopefully everyone else is okay there, so.
Wow.
Oh, actually, I have something else.
What?
From a personal standpoint, more personal than JT. Something that made me...
Well, I'm intrigued now.
It made me get even more nervous. We had a French exchange student from Marseille, which is a little bit to the southwest of where Nice is, and like, so she is, like, really close to where the incident is, so she probably has friends. I don't know if she could have been there either.
Wow, that's scary. Here's another update. Again, this comes from the group chat. It says ISIS is taking credit on their website. Apparently, they have a website. Okay.
What? I don't know about that. I mean, why would ISIS have a fucking website? That doesn't make any sense. I mean,
But then again, ISIS likes to claim things.
I think so too. I mean, everything that they do.
Want attention.
I mean,
I
mean, normally I don't allow politics on the show, and I don't like to talk about it because there's always different opinions about certain things.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that because then the NHL. Let's be honest here. If I actually allowed that to happen, NHL Fan 365, this whole project would not be where it is today. So that's for sure. So I'm glad that I made that prohibition about that rule, but if they take credit for them, they're just a bunch of fucking douches. I mean, let's just put it at that. But I'm just gonna close it out there. But so I know this was a bit long and there wasn't enough to talk about, but I appreciate you two being on the show tonight, you know, and trying to bear with me on this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fine.
Yep. So does anybody have any last minute comments before we go?
No.
No?
I say fuck the Canadians?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. What's that, like your number one most hated team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Over the Bruins?
Yeah, Canadians and Red Wings are the top two.
Well, who do you hate more?
Canadians. For sure.
Out of all teams?
Canadians.
What about a team from like 10 years ago?
Montreal.
Even Montreal now?
Yeah.
Wow, look at you go. Still going on 10 years later. Yeah, so most hated rival for you, Shannon.
Huh? Rival?
Most hated, yeah, for you.
Colorado.
Well, Colorado, it's strange for me, my thinking about rivalries and that. I've gotten in some debates with other hockey fans before, but I can't necessarily, like, I know, Steffi, you downright hate the Canadians, and that's awesome, but to me, I'm like, I respect what each team does, you know, every other day, basically, go out there, you know, play a tough and grueling game and try to win. So I can't necessarily, like, outright hate a team, and it's going to sound, and that sounds weird, I know, but if I had to choose teams that I really dislike, Colorado's up there, obviously. I don't know. My rivalry with my sister with the Dallas Stars is funny sometimes. I'll make the bets. We'll say, okay, yeah, and we'll do something on Facebook. We'll start fighting about it, like on Facebook jokingly. And then I usually have to do the said bets I make. So there's one video clip of me somewhere doing a stupid song in a Dallas Stars shirt because of I lost a bet.
Yeah, I want to see you two make a debate of an episode on Twin Hockey Talk at some point in the very near future. Just you duking it out in terms of your rivalry.
We actually, my sister and I, we joke around because we're both huge wrestling fans that there was a rival, or, you know, like whichever team wins, that's the person who's the champion, basically. So, and it's funny because, like, at the beginning of the year, it's like, oh yeah, I'm the champion. And then, like, the last game came, Tina's like, hey, stole your belt from you.
I mean, I don't watch WWE, but that's just that. That's for sure.
It's gonna be interesting after a while. Or next week, excuse me, the 19th, they're splitting the brands up again. So, yeah, I'm actually wearing a WWE shirt.
For me, my number one most hated team is a two-way tie between the Rangers and the Bruins.
Bruins are my second favorite team.
Now,
Next, that and the Lightning. That tops them around.
All right, just to be a douche here, Shannon, because you said the Bruins are your second team, what would you say if Jimmy Vesey signs with Boston?
Lightning are my new second favorite team.
The Lightning?
Yeah.
Oh, come on! Why don't you just join the Sabres? We got cookies.
No. Who eats those cookies?
Join the dark side. I have Oreos, motherfucker.
But I want the cookies. Like fresh baked cookies, and so I'll go with the Lightning then.
Oh, Come on. Tampa's boring. I can tell you. Yeah, it's boring.
I used to live in
No.
Florida like a long time ago.
You guys are like the Florida version of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You have the same color, and your logo is simple.
Where have the Maple Leafs gone in a few years compared to the Lightning? That's my question.
Where have the Toronto Maple Leafs gone compared to the Tampa Bay
Yeah,
Lightning?
because the Lightning have gone up while Toronto hasn't been quite playoff caliber. They've been down, unfortunately. So, therefore, they cannot be the Toronto of the South.
Well, they do have the blue and white scheme color.
Yeah, that's a good point. But,
Also got black.
Just like the Predators have the color scheme with the Sabres. Stop stealing my fucking colors, you damn it.
well, also, too, the Blues also have the same color scheme. So, in reality, who really does have the true color scheme? Is it the
Also,
Sabres?
Pittsburgh's new colors, technically the same colors as Boston.
Yeah, Buffalo and Las Vegas is going to take the successful
Yeah.
colors of the Penguins.
Are we really running out of colors here? What about the... really?
Minnesota Wild, Dallas Stars. Wait, unless they're like... Wait, does Minnesota have a green jersey, or is it red?
It's green and red.
Oh, crap. Never mind. I can't think of anyone. I'm distracted by the movie again that I'm watching for the third time now.
Oh my god, why did you watch something different? Why
I
don't you
have the other two DVDs on me.
Why didn't you just watch Harry Potter while you're at it?
Yeah, but Divergent, Allegiant, it just came out like a few days ago on DVD, and I haven't seen it yet, so...
This is your third movie.
No, third time I've watched the same movie.
Oh god. What are you gonna remember every single line after tonight?
I'll remember the one-liners. Like, there's one quote that I really like from the movie that, it's said by someone that's basically, the Peacemaker, or she leads the peaceful faction. For the Divergent fans watching, it's Joanna, Reyes, the leader of Amity, and she says, and I really like this line, hang on, I need to look it up again, because I remember what the gist of it is, but I don't quite remember what it exactly says. But I'll memorize quite a few of them by the end of the night. Let's see, load.
Yeah, and meanwhile you're searching for that, Steph and I could duke it out between us about the Sabres and the Lightning. Go.
Ah, here it is.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Great leaders don't seek power. They're called by necessity. And then another one is from Peter.
Stamkos.
Yeah. And another one, this is kind of funny, but if you watch the movie, you get it. Great. Now the sky's bleeding because it's raining like red rain or whatever because they're in radiation zone.
Yeah, Chicago Blackhawks.
Actually, the funny thing is Divergent does take place in Chicago, and that's in this movie they travel to O'Hare. I probably already said that, but
You did.
I did.
And then a quote today that I thought of when everyone was discussing something, in the group chat, and because I've watched this movie so much,
Pokemon!
Think of this quote. There's two of them. I'll read this one. You want change with no sacrifice, peace with no struggle? World doesn't work like that, and it's kind of true, holds true in some situations. And this was just a debate I had with someone else. It said human beings cannot be categorized in this way. It doesn't work. Maybe it's time to start embracing people instead of dividing them into groups.
That's true. Wow, you must really love that movie.
Oh, I'm obsessed with this series. Don't
judge.
Yeah.
That's that. So, I think, any last comments, Steph?
Fuck with Canadians.
No.
Again.
What about you, Sean?
Watch a Legion? I don't know.
Yep, so I guess I have no any more comments except for, hopefully Jimmy Vesey signs with the Sabres.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he does. I think he will.
I hope he doesn't.
Yes,
I
he will.
don't care. Sign Cooch.
Yeah, and if Cooch goes to Buffalo, then what?
Then I'll cry.
Then I will give you a hug. And not just because I'm living in New York State and you're downtown Florida and she's in Nashville. It's like, wow, look at us. Woo, we're having fun already. But yeah, so this is your host Boomstick, the head admin of NHL Fans 365, and he is also your head admin of the Buffalo Sabres. And Steph, you are
Hashtag HowYouDrouin.
Any last words?
Yeah, I was talking to you. No, I was talking to Shannon.
Oh, me. Sorry, I got distracted by Legion again. I am RinneSetGo. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's all mine. And we will see you guys on Saturday, and take care, and sayonara.